Everyone out there is telling you exactly how to start a business. Do this, buy this course, follow this framework, copy this specific funnel. And meanwhile, you're left sitting there thinking, none of this feels like me. That's not a problem. That's actually a starting point. Because you don't have to do it like everyone else. You just have to do it like you. But before we get into that, if you're new here, hey there, my name is Heather, and around here, I keep business simple, real, and built to fit in your actual life. If that feels good, if that resonates, stick around and subscribe. You found yourself in the right place. Okay, so let's talk about the reality of starting a business. But I need a drink. All right. Now that we've got my pretend infomercial out of the way. So many people think that starting a business means following everyone else's strategies, following their exact path. And yes, you can learn from these people who tell you how to start a business, but you have to make sure that you are doing what is right for you. The internet is full of the one right way. And that's a lie. There is no one size fits all way of starting a business. There's multiple ways to get a business started. The truth is, this might sound a little odd, but it's simpler than a lot of the gurus want you to believe. And it's harder than those highlight reels show. And honestly, it looks different for every single person. Someone might have something take off with only a couple weeks of work. Someone in that same person might burn out after a few months or a year and completely dump their business. For someone else, it might take years to create a steady income that can support their family and allow them to leave their job that they have going on. So I want you to stop trying to copy everyone else because their blueprint is not the only option. If you have one takeaway from this video, I want it to be this. Your business starts with you. The best businesses are built from our strengths, our skills, our knowledge, our values, and our story, not someone else's formula. Can I say that one again? The best businesses are built from your strengths, your skills, your values, and your story, not someone else's formula. You got it now? What you know, what you've got figured out, what comes naturally to you, that's your starting point. It's you, your idea, the people you're going to help, the brand that you create, and then you get cash flow. Now, that might make it seem super simple, and it is simple, but it's also a little more complicated than that. I just want to give you real, honest expectations of starting a business. It is both hard and easy at the same time, and it sounds so strange, but it is true. There are very easy things about starting a business, and we tend to overcomplicate them sometimes. However, it is not easy in the sense that it takes work. It takes dedication. So it is both easy and hard. I want to give you permission, and I want you to give yourself permission to start a business your way. But I want you to also know that doesn't mean that the business is all about you. Your business is going to exist to do something for someone else, to solve someone else's problem. Regardless of if you're creating a local business, an online business, or a hybrid business that does both, you need to be focused on your customer and what you can do for them. But that what you can do for them starts with who you are and what you know. There's a sweet spot of what you know, what you love, and what other people need and are willing to pay for from you. And as you're going through this process of figuring out what your business is, I want you to do a gut check. Can you help someone get from where they currently are to where they want to be? Okay? You need to be able to do that for them. Here they are. This is where they want to go. That is what makes a business work. If you cannot get someone from point A to point B with your bridge in the middle, which is your product or your service, then that won't work. You'll have to just, keep thinking about it, reevaluate, tweak something. And solving a problem is what every business does, regardless of what type of business you do. If you make gift baskets, you're solving someone's problem, right? You are creating this basket for somebody who wants to give it as a gift, but they do not have the time or do not have the ability, whatever it is they do not have, to put that basket together themselves. And then they can give that basket to someone else and it will solve a problem for them. Right? Maybe it's a relaxation basket, a self-care basket, and it's solving that problem for them. So I want you to realize that no matter what your business is, you are solving a problem. When we hear people say that, sometimes it feels obvious that when we're thinking about a service business or a digital product business, but doesn't always seem obvious when we're thinking about products in like local businesses. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. I always say, I give you permission, now give yourself permission. Because truthfully, as much as I can give you permission, you really just need to give yourself permission to start and to do it imperfectly. Because when we try to be perfect, we procrastinate. All right? You don't need to have the perfect plan. You just need to know what your next step is. And this is literally what I walk through in my new business workbook, Clarity to Cash. Because if your business doesn't fit your life, if your business isn't centered around you, if all you're doing is trying to fit someone else's perfect plan, it won't last. Right? So this absolutely, you need to be concentrating on you and what fits you, your life, and your family's life. If this is starting to feel a little more real, a little less overwhelming, a little more doable, go ahead and give this video a like. It genuinely helps me to know to make more content like this and helps the algorithm to know that you want to watch more videos like this. So now you've learned to give yourself permission to start, and you're starting to feel this out and think about it a little more. And I can feel a question coming up. You are saying to yourself, okay, but do I actually have enough experience to do this? I'm a mind reader, so I've got you. Click this video and we'll talk about how you don't need more experience. You already have what it takes.